If I told you that one of the greatest scientists in history once woke up before sunrise just to sell newspapers? What if I told you that the boy who couldn't afford luxury would one day build missiles, inspire millions, and become the president of the world's largest democracy? No rich family, no powerful connections, no shortcuts. Only discipline, only dreams, only relentless work. This is not just the story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. This is the proof that your beginning never decides your ending. October 1931. A small island called Rameswaram. No skyscrapers, no technology, no privilege. Just simple people, simple homes, and impossible dreams. In one of those humble houses, a boy named Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam opened his eyes to the world. His father owned a small boat. His mother fed anyone who knocked on their door. They were not rich, but they were wealthy in values, because character is the first inheritance every great person receives. Life was never easy. Every morning, before most children opened their eyes, Kalam was already awake. He wasn't playing, he wasn't complaining, he was working, selling newspapers, not because he wanted pocket money, because his family needed help. Many people would have called it bad luck, but Kalam called it responsibility. That is where greatness begins. Not when life becomes easy, but when you choose to become stronger than your circumstances. But every morning, after delivering newspapers, the boy would look up, not at money, not at success, at the sky, birds, clouds, aircraft. While others saw the sky, Kalam saw his future. Every great life begins with a dream. But dreams are dangerous because once they enter your heart, they refuse to leave. Young Kalam wasn't fascinated by money. He wasn't chasing fame. He wanted to understand how something heavier than air could touch the sky. Books became his closest friends. Every page he read became another step towards his dream. While others slept, he studied. While others complained, he prepared. Because success always rewards the people no one notices. Years passed. The boy finally reached the doorstep of his biggest dream. He wanted to become an Air Force pilot. He worked, he sacrificed, he gave everything. The results came. He finished ninth. Only 8 candidates were selected. His dream was over. Imagine that. Years of sacrifice destroyed by one number. Most people would have quit. Most people would have blamed fate. But Kalam did something extraordinary. He accepted the failure and then he started again. Years later, Dr. Kalam would say, "Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is strong enough." Think about that. If he had become an Air Force pilot, India might never have received its missile man. Sometimes life doesn't reject you, it redirects you. Your biggest disappointment may secretly be preparing your greatest purpose. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. The boy who couldn't become a pilot was now about to build the future of India's space program. The real story was only beginning. Failure visited him again. This time, the whole nation was watching. The year 1979. India was preparing to launch its satellite launch vehicle. Years of work, years of sacrifice, years of hope, and then the mission failed. The rocket fell into the sea. Everyone expected blame. Instead, Professor Satish Dhawan stepped forward. He accepted full responsibility before the media. 1 year later, the mission succeeded. This time, Professor Dhawan asked Kalam to face the cameras. Failure was owned by the leader. Success was gifted to the team. That is leadership. The boy who once sold newspapers was now building India's future. Agni, Prithvi, Akash, integrated missile programs changed the confidence of a nation. The world called him the Missile Man of India. He could have stopped. He had already made history. Instead, he chose to serve. In 2002, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam became the President of India. Yet, he never stopped being a teacher. He believed the greatest investment was in young minds. On July 27th, 2015, Dr. Kalam was doing what he loved most, teaching. He left this world while inspiring students. Think about that. He didn't die chasing power. He didn't die chasing wealth. He spent his final moments igniting minds. A little boy who woke up before sunrise to sell newspapers didn't know that one day he would inspire an entire nation. He wasn't born with power, wealth, neither privilege. He was born with a dream, and that dream changed India. Remember, life doesn't reject you, it redirects you. Failure isn't the end, it is the beginning of a stronger version of yourself. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, "Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action." He also reminded us, if you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. And perhaps his most powerful lesson was never spoken from a stage. It was lived through every struggle, every failure, and every time he chose to rise again. The boy who sold newspapers became the missile man, became the people's president, became a teacher whose classroom was the entire nation. Your beginning doesn't decide your ending. Your circumstances don't define your future. Your decisions do. So tonight, don't just admire Dr. Kalam. Learn from him, dream like him, work like him, and never let failure convince you to give up. If this story inspired you, tell me in the comments. What is the one dream you are refusing to give up on? I read every comment and I would love to hear your story. If you believe inspiring stories can change lives, then support this journey. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another story of ordinary people who achieved this extraordinary. Because remember, dream, believe, work, rise. And never let where you started decide where you will